Good morning, dear friend. Before you reach for everything this Wednesday is already asking from you, remember this: you do not have to carry the whole day before the day has even begun. Maybe your eyes have only been open for a few minutes, but your mind is already miles ahead. You are thinking about the conversation you need to have, the deadline waiting at work, the bill that still needs to be paid, the person you are worried about, the decision you are not sure how to make. Maybe there is something you have been waiting to hear about, and every morning you wonder, will today finally bring an answer? Or maybe nothing is terribly wrong. You are simply tired of feeling like you always have to stay one step ahead of everything. I understand that feeling. We can wake up in a quiet room and somehow already feel the weight of a day that has not even happened yet. But this morning, Wednesday, August 26, we are going to do something different. Before the messages, before the news, before the schedule begins pulling at your attention, before you try to solve what you cannot yet see, we are going to give these first moments to God. You do not need to know everything that is coming today. You do not need every answer right now. God sees what you cannot see. He knows the road ahead of you, the places where you will need wisdom, the moments when you will need patience, and the situations where you will need His protection. He knows the burden you have not explained to anyone. He knows the quiet concern behind your smile, and He knows how much strength it sometimes takes just to keep moving when uncertainty has followed you for days. So bring that here. Bring the worry. Bring the family burden. Bring the financial pressure. Bring the unanswered question and the plan that still feels uncertain. God is with you here, and you are not walking into this day by yourself. Today, we will ask Him to go before you, to protect you and those you love, to guide your decisions, to surround your home with peace, and to place His favor upon the work of your hands. We will ask Him to open the right doors and give you the wisdom to walk away from the wrong ones. And before this prayer is finished, my hope is that your heart will remember something your worries often make you forget. Your future is not resting entirely on your shoulders. So for these next moments, release the need to have Wednesday figured out. Let tomorrow wait. Let yesterday stay behind you. This is the morning God has given you. This is the moment you have with Him. And before you take another step into this day, bring your heart, your plans, your family, and everything you cannot control into His presence. And as you place all of that into God's hands, hold close to this promise from Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8. The Lord Himself goes before you and will be with you. There is something deeply comforting about those words, especially on a morning when you cannot predict what the next 12 hours will bring. God goes before you, not behind you, trying to catch up after something goes wrong, not far away, watching without concern. He goes before you. He is already present in the conversation you are nervous about. He already sees the decision that feels unclear to you. He knows what will happen at work, what your family will need, what unexpected change may interrupt your plans, and where you will need more patience than you think you have. This is why morning prayers to start your day can become more than a routine. They remind your heart that uncertainty does not mean you are abandoned. Sometimes we assume peace will come when everything finally makes sense, when the answer arrives, when the money works out, when the relationship improves, when the door opens. But God often gives peace before anything changes. He gives enough grace for the next step, then the next one, then another. You may not have the full map today, but you can trust the one who knows the road. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10 reminds us not to fear because God is with us, and that He will strengthen us and help us. So when anxiety whispers that you have to handle everything alone, return to that truth. God is with you. When your thoughts begin racing toward everything that could go wrong, return again. God is with you. When you feel unprepared for what is ahead, remember once more, God is with you. His presence does not depend on how confident you feel. His faithfulness does not disappear because you have questions. And His care for you is not measured by whether today unfolds exactly the way you hoped, Maybe that is what your heart needs to hear right now. You can stop trying to mentally live through every possible outcome before breakfast. There will be enough grace when each moment arrives. For now, receive this simple truth. The God who carried you through days you thought would overwhelm you has not stopped being faithful today. If you believe that God is going before you, make this a small act of faith. Write in the comments, "God goes before me, and I trust Him today." Not as a magic phrase, and not because commenting earns a blessing, but as your personal declaration that fear will not have the final word over your morning. You do not know every detail ahead. That is okay. God sees the road. God knows your needs. God understands your concerns. And as you continue into this prayer, you can rest in the promise that wherever this day leads, His presence is already there. So now, Father, I place this entire day into your hands. Not only the parts that feel easy to surrender, but the parts I keep turning over in my mind because I want to know exactly how they will work out. I give you my plans. I give you my worries. I give you what I can control, and I give you what I cannot control. I surrender the schedule I have made and the interruptions I never planned for. I surrender my work, my responsibilities, my conversations, my appointments, and every decision waiting for me. Lord, there are things I want to fix quickly because waiting makes me uncomfortable. There are answers I wish I already had. There may be financial pressure sitting quietly in the back of my mind, a family concern I cannot solve by myself, or a situation at work that follows my thoughts even when I am home. You know all of it. Nothing I bring to you needs to be cleaned up or explained perfectly first. You already understand. So I release the pressure to predict every outcome. I release the need to make everything happen in my own timing. I release the fear that if I stop worrying for a moment, somehow everything will fall apart. Father, teach my heart that surrender is not giving up. It is choosing where I place my trust. Your word says in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, to trust in you with all our heart, not leaning on our own understanding, but acknowledging you so that you may direct our paths. That is what I want today. Direct my path. When I am tempted to rush, steady me. When I am uncertain, give me wisdom. When something does not go according to plan, keep frustration from taking over my spirit. When I receive good news, keep me grateful. When an answer takes longer than I hoped, keep me faithful. I do not need to force every door. I do not need to chase every opportunity. I do not need to carry responsibilities you never asked me to carry. There is relief in admitting that, Lord, real relief. You are God, and I am allowed to depend on you. So take what feels heavy this morning. Take the concern I keep returning to. Take the question I cannot answer. Take the future I cannot see. I place my family in your hands. I place my work in your hands. I place my finances in your hands. I place my decisions in your hands. I place my hopes in your hands. And I place myself in your hands. Whatever comes, help me meet it with your peace instead of panic, with wisdom instead of fear, and with the quiet confidence that I do not have to walk through any moment alone. And because I have placed myself in your hands, Father, I ask you now to cover every part of my life with your care. Watch over me as I leave home, as I travel, as I work, as I speak, and as I make choices throughout the day. Protect the people I love. Cover my family with your presence, whether they are across the room, across town, or hundreds of miles away. You know exactly where they are. You see what I cannot see, and you can be present where I cannot be. That brings comfort to my heart. Lord, watch over our homes. Let them be places of rest, kindness, patience, and peace. Watch over our children and the people entrusted to our care. Give them wisdom in their choices, and surround them with people who will encourage what is good. Protect those who are driving to work, taking children to school, walking into an appointment, catching a flight, beginning a long shift, or simply trying to make it through another demanding day. Sometimes protection is what we think about when something feels obviously uncertain, but I need your covering in ordinary moments too. In the decisions that seem small, in conversations that could easily be misunderstood, in moments when I am tired and my judgment is not as clear as it should be. Guard my mind from fear that exaggerates every possibility. Guard my heart from carrying anxiety that does not belong there. Guard my words so that I do not create unnecessary tension with someone I love. Give me enough wisdom to slow down when I need to slow down, and enough courage to move forward when it is time to move. Your word reminds me in Psalm 121 that you watch over my coming and going. I hold on to that today. You are attentive. You are faithful. You do not lose sight of me when life becomes busy. And Lord, I know peaceful prayers do not mean pretending that difficult things never happen. Peace comes from knowing that whatever I face, I do not face it without you. So when concern rises, remind me that you are near. When my family is beyond my reach, remind me they are never beyond yours. When plans suddenly change, help me respond with calm instead of immediately assuming the worst. I choose to trust your care. I choose to trust your wisdom. I choose to rest in your presence. Cover my home. Cover my loved ones. Cover my thoughts. Cover every place my feet will go today. Let your peace settle over the things I have been trying too hard to protect by worry alone. I cannot be everywhere. I cannot anticipate everything. I cannot hold everyone I love in my own hands. But you can hold us all, Father. And that is where I choose to rest. And Father, there is another kind of protection I need today, the kind I cannot always recognize in the moment. Protect me from what I do not see coming. You know the situations that may look harmless at first, but could pull my attention away from what matters. You know which opportunities are right for me and which ones only look right from a distance. You know the conversations I will enter, the people I will meet, the choices I will have to make, and the moments when my emotions may try to make decisions before wisdom has a chance to speak. So please go ahead of me. If something is not good for me, give me the wisdom to recognize it. If a path is not mine to take, make that clear. If I need to wait, give me patience without letting fear convince me that waiting means I have been forgotten. Sometimes, Lord, the hardest things to surrender are the dangers my own mind creates. One unanswered phone call becomes a terrible possibility. One unexpected expense becomes a fear about next month. One difficult conversation becomes a story in my head about everything falling apart. I know how quickly worry can take one small uncertainty and carry it 10 miles down a road that does not even exist yet. So guard me there too. Guard my thoughts. Guard my assumptions. Guard me from spending today's strength on tomorrow's imagined problems. When I cannot see what is ahead, remind me that you can. When I do not understand what is happening, remind me that confusion does not mean you have left me. When I feel vulnerable because something is outside my control, remind me that my life has never depended on my ability to control every detail. You are my refuge. You are my help. You are near. Psalm 46 reminds me that you are a very present help in trouble, and I choose to hold that truth closer than the fears competing for my attention. I will not feed every anxious thought. I will not treat every delay as bad news. I will not assume every closed door is a loss. Father, protect my peace from things that have not happened. Protect my heart from unnecessary fear. Protect my judgment when emotions are loud. And protect the people I love in all the places where I cannot personally reach them. I trust you with what I know. I trust you with what I do not know. I trust you with what I can see, and I trust you with what remains hidden from me. Let that trust settle deeply in my heart today. I do not need to know everything ahead of time. I only need to remember that wherever I go, you are already there. And Father, because you are already present in every place I will go, I ask for more than protection today. Let your favor go before me. Let your grace meet me in the ordinary places where I need it most, in conversations, in decisions, in meetings, in unexpected moments when I have only a few seconds to choose how I will respond. Give me the kind of favor that does not make me proud, but makes me grateful. I am not asking for a life without difficulty. I am asking for your presence within every difficulty, your wisdom when the answer is not obvious, and your gentle direction when I am unsure which way to move. Lord, there may be a door I have been hoping would open. Maybe it is connected to work, an opportunity, a relationship, a financial need, or an answer I have waited on longer than I expected. You know how tiring it can become to keep hoping when nothing seems to move. So if that door is right for me, make the way clear in your timing. If it is not, help me release it without believing that I have somehow missed my future. A closed door can feel personal. A delayed answer can feel like rejection. But I do not want disappointment to decide what I believe about your goodness. Lead me toward what is right, not simply toward what is easy. Put the right people in my path, and help me recognize good counsel when I hear it. Give me favor with the people I work beside, with those I serve, with those who make decisions that affect my responsibilities, and with the people whose lives cross mine for only a moment. Let my words carry patience. Let my attitude carry kindness. Let my choices reflect wisdom, and when I walk into a room feeling overlooked or uncertain, remind me that I do not need to force myself to be noticed. What you have for me does not require me to become someone I am not. Father, guide me toward opportunities where I can grow, contribute, serve, and provide for the people who depend on me. Keep me from chasing things simply because they look impressive from the outside. I want what brings peace with it. I want what keeps my heart close to you. I want the doors that align with the life you are leading me toward. So go before me with favor. Go before me with wisdom. Go before me with grace. Where there is confusion, bring clarity. Where there is tension, help me respond gently. Where there is an opportunity I should recognize, open my eyes. Where I need to say no, give me courage. Where I need to say yes, give me faith. I trust that your favor is not only found in receiving what I want. Sometimes it is found in being redirected, protected from the wrong thing, or quietly led toward something better than I could see for myself. And Father, as you guide me toward what is right, I ask you to bless the work you have placed in front of me. Bless the work of my hands, even when it feels ordinary. Bless the tasks nobody notices, the responsibilities that repeat every week, and the effort that sometimes seems to produce very little. Give me strength for what needs to be done, and wisdom to know what can wait. Some days, Lord, provision feels simple. Other days, it becomes one of the heaviest concerns we carry. There are groceries to buy, utility bills to pay, rent or mortgage payments coming due, children who need things, unexpected expenses, and numbers in a bank account that can make the heart uneasy. You know those moments. You know the person listening right now who has quietly wondered how everything is going to work out. Meet that need with your grace. Provide opportunities, good judgment, discipline, and the right help at the right time. Your word says in Philippians chapter 4, verse 19, that you will supply every need according to your riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Help me trust that promise without turning it into a demand for everything I want. Teach me to recognize the difference between what I need and what I simply desire. Give me contentment, but also give me courage to pursue the opportunities you place before me. Bless my health with strength for today. Bless my mind with clarity. Bless my relationships with patience and honest communication. Bless my home with peace. Bless the people I love with what they need, even when I do not know how to provide it myself. And for the person waiting on an answer, waiting on a job opportunity, waiting for a financial situation to improve, or wondering why progress feels so slow, bring fresh hope. Waiting can wear a person down. It can make yesterday's confidence feel much smaller this morning. That is why daily faith matters in the quiet moments, when nothing dramatic has changed, but we choose to trust you again anyway. I trust you for today's bread. I trust you for today's strength. I trust you for today's wisdom. I trust you for the next step. Father, let the work I do have purpose beyond a paycheck. Help me serve well, treat people with kindness, and remain honest when shortcuts seem easier. Open the right opportunities, provide what is needed. Give me wisdom with what I already have. And when I am tempted to measure your goodness only by what is in my hands, remind me of what is already around me. Breath, mercy, another morning, people to love, work to do, and your faithful presence carrying me through, one day at a time. And Father, when I look at everything you have already carried me through, I realize I do not need to wait until tonight to decide whether I will trust you. I choose trust now, before I know how every conversation will go, before I know whether the answer I have been waiting for will come, before I know whether my plans will work exactly as I hoped. I trust you now. There is freedom in saying that, because faith does not require me to pretend I have no concerns. I still have questions. I still care about the outcome. I still feel the weight of responsibilities that cannot simply be ignored. But those things do not have to control the condition of my heart. Father, if something changes unexpectedly, I will trust you. If something takes longer than I wanted, I will trust you. If a door opens, I will thank you and walk forward with wisdom. If a door stays closed, I will trust that my life is not over because one opportunity did not work out. I choose to trust you. I choose to follow you. I choose to rest in you. When my thoughts start running ahead again, bring me back to what is true. You are with me. You are guiding me. You are giving me enough grace for the moment I am actually living, not the 10 imaginary moments my anxiety keeps creating. Your word says in Isaiah chapter 26 verse 3, that you keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. So steady my mind, not once, but every time I need it. At the stoplight, at my desk, in the grocery store, during a difficult phone call, in the quiet moment when an old worry suddenly returns. Remind me that I am covered by your care. I am guided by your wisdom. I am strengthened by your grace. I am blessed by your presence. I do not say these things because I expect an easy day. I say them because whatever this day holds, I want my heart anchored in something stronger than changing circumstances. If good news comes, I will praise you. If I have to wait, I will stay close to you. If I feel strong, I will thank you. If I feel tired, I will lean on you. My peace does not have to rise and fall with every email, every number, every opinion, or every unexpected change. Father, teach me to live from trust instead of reacting from fear. I am not walking alone. I am not carrying everything alone. I am not figuring everything out alone. You are here. You are faithful. And whatever comes next, I will take the next step with you. And as I take that next step with you, Father, I return to the declaration I made earlier. God goes before me, and I trust him today. Let those words remain with me when this quiet moment ends and the ordinary noise of life begins again. God goes before me, and I trust him today. I may not know what the next phone call will bring, what will happen at work, how quickly an answer will come, or whether every plan will unfold the way I expect. But I know I do not enter any of it alone. Thank you for hearing every concern I have brought before you. Thank you for holding the things I cannot fix, protecting the people I cannot always reach, and giving me grace for responsibilities that sometimes feel heavier than I admit. Let your peace remain in my home. Let your wisdom guide my choices. Let your favor rest upon the work of my hands. Bless my family with health, strength, patience, provision, and a deeper awareness of your presence. Bless the person listening who is carrying financial pressure today. Bless the one waiting for an answer. Bless the one who feels tired before the day has really begun. Give each of us what we need for the next step, and then enough faith for the step after that. May this powerful morning prayer stay in our hearts beyond these few minutes, reminding us that your faithfulness is not limited to quiet moments of prayer. You are with us in traffic, at work, at home, in difficult conversations, in unexpected changes, and in the small moments no one else notices. And dear friend, if these prayers have become a peaceful part of your mornings, you can support this channel simply by liking this video and subscribing so we can continue meeting here each day. If you feel led and you are able, you may also send a gift to help support the people who quietly give their time and care to creating these prayers. There is never any pressure. Your presence here matters, and your prayers matter too. Father, as we leave this moment, let us carry less fear and more trust, less pressure and more peace, less need to control every outcome and more confidence in your faithful care. May your protection surround us, your wisdom lead us, your grace strengthen us, and your goodness remind us throughout the day that we are never beyond your sight. Whatever comes next, help us remember that you are already there, and perhaps that is enough for the heart to move forward in peace. In Jesus' name, Amen.